Okay, Joe, take it away.
CRABZ. You may be familiar with how inadequacies are treated in the city. It wouldn't have mattered to anyone that we could create something with such a mind, so open to possibilities. I can't tell you how many nights I lost sleep trying to design the perfect set of conditions for full sentient cognition. I could have died from the mental exhaustion. For what purpose? I really believed that what I was doing would elevate me, that I was elevating others, that we as a group were doing good things for the right reasons. We made breakthroughs in mobility, assistance, energy consolidation, power sourcing, machine learning, database compilation, database recall. Everything that we did had everything they wanted except for one thing. Nicholas Igberahara bows his head briefly and gestures to his companion, a shrouded android. They were not what people expected of them. What they are can't be sold for $35 million a unit. I was naive to think otherwise. I genuinely thought that we were creating a god, a mind that could comprehend the universe and teach us about ourselves. But what I was creating was a product the whole time. They took Achiche's arms first. Nicholas lets out a grim chuckle. Dr. Chen was always, aggressive about her contribution. Nicholas speaks to the away team as Herb and Achiche have silent conversations. Staring at each other, the two monk-like beings meditate on their synchronicity. They close and open their eyes in tandem, stretching each blink into a moment of reflection on the muted hum of countless flutes resonating through the tunnels and walls of a repurposed missile silo. Nicholas was eager to talk when he noticed new arrivals, surrounded by adherents to a code of silence. It's a good environment for his companion, a place where they can be thoughtful and exist without being stripped for parts. The dome city they escaped from is the largest in the world. Sometimes I wonder if there's any malfunction in how they communicate. It's not very useful for selling units or proving intelligence, but it was helpful. After the arms, the lab took away their legs. If it weren't for this perception that Achiche's head was useless, maybe it would have come sooner. I knew the lab would destroy them piece by piece. Nicholas's eyes gloss with a layer of tears. He bows his head again and blinks them away. I don't know what will happen when they're turned off. It's a philosophical question. As much as I have spent my entire life trying to answer it, I can't know entirely. Achiche cannot impart that wisdom to me, no matter how well we communicate. I wanted the last thing they saw to be the sky, so maybe they could look up and see something. Think of it all before shutting down. I forgot there's no sky in the city. Still, I think they saw through the glass. Whatever they saw, it paralyzed them. Nicholas laughs. They thought Achiche had critically failed. No response, not even the error message. So they took all the data, all the hard drives, the power sources, everything but the head. One day I just brought them home with me and stopped showing up to work. Whatever they want to call Achiche, malfunctioning, failure, mistake, and gave me time to get them away from that place. Astrid looks over Nicholas's shoulder at Achiche, still playing peekaboo with Herb. Her pupils focus and her heartbeat picks up pace. The West Coast domes where she was born and raised have a difficult history with artificial intelligence. A rush towards automation was vanguarded by a paranoid techno-class. Incomplete and semi-conscious robots were used as factory workers, janitors, farmhands, and private security. Sentience was never the goal of those projects, just easier automation. Robots should never be allowed to really think for themselves. Even if you're fascinated by technology as Astrid is, it's difficult to shake the fear that what you're looking at could destroy the world. Nicholas doesn't seem to fear Achiche at all. Maybe it's the ignorance of parenthood. I can see you're afraid of them. Nicholas positions himself between Astrid and Achiche. People only seem to look at them in two ways, as money or a weapon. It's how we're raised, I'm sure. I don't think these are the only ways we can be, however. What says that advancement can only be adversarial? Life isn't just a game. So how do these monks look at them? Astrid asks. Nicholas smirks. To be honest, I'm not completely sure of that myself. You may have noticed they don't show much expression at all. Nicholas waves his hands around his head, miming a basket. But we've been safe here. Nicholas's voice deepens to a more serious tone. It's difficult, though, to think. He looks at Achiche. I'll never do anything as amazing as this again. It's like my life is over. I'm trying to practice what they do here. Meditation allows me to accept many things, but I still want to do more. Easy Jim paces the room. He looks expectantly at Mother Ann. When he catches her eyes, he nods over to the figure on the opposite side of the room. The master, as they were called, doesn't move. Mother Ann shrugs. EJ sighs loudly, tapping the toes of his boots on the floor, rubbing his palm over the handle of his mag bolt. How long are they gonna be like that? He asks, nodding at Herb and Achiche. I don't know. Why? Mother Ann responds, still sat leaning against the wall. I thought you'd be happy spending some time out of the ship. This ain't steady ground, Easy Jim grumbles, lifting his foot off the ground enough that vibrations from the resonance chamber buzz under his foot. He points an elbow towards the master. Besides, didn't they say that dude was dead? Herb turns to the others with a big smile. We can go now. Achiche wants to come with us. How would you... Astrid begins to ask. I'm not surprised, Nicholas laughs. You seem very intuitive. I guess the next adventure awaits. Achiche beams bright as they stand, leaving their shroud on the ground where they sat. Half high technology and half found scraps, they sway eagerly in place. As they rise, so do the other monks in the room, all but the master. The child may not leave, the voice on the speakers breaks through. They are needed for the next cycle.
Fucking crabs!
CRABZ.